Hi guys, and welcome to another video on Sonal's Life. Before I start, I just want to say welcome to all my new subscribers. Because you'll probably tell by the title of the video, we've had Wrestle Kingdom this week and I've been doing a few live streams and I know that a lot of people have come and joined me, so welcome. Now, obviously I've just said it's been Wrestle Kingdom. It's literally been about an hour since night 2 ended and oh my god. It was an absolutely amazing show, and as per usual when we have massive New Japan shows, I am back with my review, and it's gonna be a long video, not as long as the predictions, but holy god, these last 2 days have been amazing. Now, a lot of people were a bit worried. There weren't as many people, there was no cheering. The card was less stacked than we've had in the past, but holy lord, like, New Japan made up for it with like a sheer amazing quality of matches. So I'm just going to go through each night match by match, sort of what my highlights were, what the matches of the 2 days were, and yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy. So let's begin. Okay, so we started night 1 and that was Monday the 4th of January with the big multi-man Rambo. Now, I've said how excited I was for this because we got to see all of the names that were missed off the card. We got Suzuki, Yuji Nagata, who had a major war, Toa Henare, Bushi, Bullet Club's Fale and Chase Owens. We had Honma, Makabe. It was really nice. It was really light-hearted. We got to see guys mix with each other and it was pure chaos, but everything that you expect from a Rambo. Throughout, it was almost like it was very surprising. We had Henare eliminate both Nagata and Suzuki. We had Honma accidentally eliminating Makabe by accident, and it was all for this King of Pro Wrestling title. Now, Yano was the final man to enter the Rambo, and however, he got near the ring, and by that time, he'd already won. So basically, the point of this was the 4 winners would go on to the next night, and for some reason, they'd managed to eliminate somebody in the ring, leaving with Bushi, Fale, and Owens, and by default, Yano, who didn't even get in the match. Now, if that's not a Toru Yano thing, I don't know what is. Great way to start, nice, light-hearted, and yeah, it was just an amazing match, very funny. And then we started onto the main card. So we started with the match between Hiromu Takahashi and El Phantasmo, so the Best of Super Junior and Super J-Cup winner, for a shot at Taiji Ishimori's title on the next day. This match was crazy. Like, I said this in my preview, these two guys are very similar. High-flying, athletic, unpredictable. What else could you want from a match between 2 junior heavyweights? It was, so I'm having a look here, and it was just under 20 minutes at 17, but it was full of action from start to end. There was, it's Hiromu, there were dangerous spots where there was Hurricane Ranas. At one point, El Phantasmo used Hiromu's back as like a stepping stone to do a moonsault off the rope. It was phenomenal, and also the character work within it. You knew who the heel was, like El Phantasmo went for the low blow. You knew who the babyface was. That was Hiromu fighting through adversity. No matter where he was getting targeted, he was going to fight through. And I also want to give a props out to Hiromu's ring entrance and his ring gear, which was absolutely amazing. Now, I know some people were a bit weirded out by the finish, so Hiromu hit a Hurricane Rana and with a roll-up got the pin, but think about it, Ishimori was his next opponent. Why are you going to waste your energy? If you can get it with a roll-up, you get the win. Honestly, an amazing match and set the precedent for the rest of the night. And yeah, I love Hiromu, I love El Phantasmo, so it was a great match. The next one we had, it was another amazing match. I wasn't too happy with the outcome, but it was the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Championship match between God and Dangerous Tekkers. Once again, a great match. I've said this before, the two teams are so different. You've got the athletic, agile Zack Sabre Jr. and Tama Tonga, and then the strength that is Taichi and Tangaloa. And mixing these combinations together, it showed that the tag division was moving. I've said this in the past, the New Japan Heavyweight Tag Division has sometimes seemed a bit bland. And with Dangerous Tekkers added to the mix, it seemed fresh again. And even with the win by God, which I want to congratulate them for because they've not had the best run in Wrestle Kingdoms. They've gone in champions 3 times, lost it. This was a great moment for them. And all of the guys in the ring were so talented. Like, Tama Tonga is amazing. He is so fast, and I think he's one of the most underrated wrestlers in the entire company. And combining with his brother, the chemistry there, I'm so happy. And also, I keep bringing up like outfits. Tangalo's new ring gear, the silver, was amazing. And I got to see Taichi rip his pants off, so it's always a bonus, even if they didn't win. And then we had the first sort of, no, it wasn't a title match. I wouldn't even call it a special singles match, but it was between Kenta and Satoshi Kojima for the rights to challenge for the US title. Going into this, everyone expected the win. Obviously, Kenta won. However, this match was 14 minutes long, and dude, it showed that Kojima can go hard. Like, he might be over 40, he's in the third generation club, but he can hold his own. It was also a fairly clean fight. The one time that Kenta tried to hit Kojima with the briefcase, Kojima was like, no. And we got to see his lariats, which was stiff. We got to see his speed. And I just love the fact that we got to see Kojima in a big match at Wrestle Kingdom, because it feels like it's been forever. He's been in the opening matches for pretty much quite a few years. And yeah, Kenta just proved again why he's so amazing. He's charismatic, he's talented. And I can honestly say it was nice. It wasn't just a filler match, which I expected it to be. And then we had a small break and we got onto the big bulk of the matches for the night. So we started with Tanahashi versus Okan, a special singles match. There was no implications for this. They had a bit of a storyline going into this with like World Tag League and Okan basically saying Tanahashi's washed up. I predicted Tanahashi to win, mainly because my heart is always with Tanahashi. However, I didn't think he actually was going to win, which did happen. Okan put up a major fight. There was, surprisingly, and we'll see this throughout the 2 days, there was no outside interference for the Empire, and this was the same with Okan. It was a straight wrestling match. As always, Tanahashi's knee got targeted, and for a while it seemed as if Okan was actually going to get the win. However, my ace, and probably the most beautiful man in the world, got the upper hand, used his heart, used the crowd's clapping, and hit the high fly flow, which I honestly still think is one of the most beautiful moves in wrestling. And that match was actually 17 minutes, which went on quite longer than I expected. But I don't know why they're going to go with Okan after this, because we've seen in the past that Tanahashi has beaten the up-and-coming, but it will be interesting to see. But now we got onto the main juice of night one. And two are probably the best matches we're going to see this year. The first match was between Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay. And we know the history. I've said this in the preview video. Go and have a look if you need a bit of a recap. But it was a battle for retribution. No titles on the line, but it felt as if it had that big match quality. Okada might not be in the main event, but he was fighting. He was fighting against the betrayal of Ospreay. He was probably fighting against the fact he's been missed out of the title picture for what seems like a year now. The match itself went 35 minutes, which, can I be honest, it passed in like a blink of an eye. And I noticed this across Wrestle Kingdom. The matches were very long, but they were so good that it felt like no time at all. Both men, we saw new things out of him. Ospreay obviously adapting his more heel style, using more ground-based than we've seen. But we saw Oz Cutter. We saw a Spanish fly off the rope. But the big shot for me was Okada. We saw him do a beautiful dive out of the ropes with a tope con hilo. And when was the last time that you've seen Okada do that? Now, I did a live stream with Tempest on Wrestle Talk, and you can go and have a look at that at Wrestle 2. But basically, we don't know why we were so surprised that this match was so good. Like, Tempest even said it was his match of the night. And I don't know why we didn't expect it. Maybe because it wasn't a big title match. Maybe because we thought B. Priestley was going to get involved. But I don't know. Depending on what your opinions of Ospreay is, he's an amazing worker. And the two of them have such a good chemistry in the ring. However, that was Tempest's favourite of the night. My favourite was Kota Ibushi versus Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championship. Now, I said on my preview I expected it to be high risk. I expected to be hiding behind my cushions. Holy Lord, I didn't expect it as that much. I mean, it was dangerous. It went, let me see, 31 minutes, so just under the time that Ospreay and Okada went. But it was amazing. Like, it was high risk, dynamic. It started off quite slow for the pair, like they were on the mat. But within seconds, there was Hurricane Ranas, Frankensteiners. Can I tell you, these all happened on the apron. Like, it was a dangerous match, and I almost didn't want to enjoy it as much as I did. But these two have this unrivaled chemistry with each other, and because of that, that is how you get amazing matches. And we saw Destinos, Kamigoyes, we saw Like I said, I think we saw Canadian Destroyer, I won't be past. We saw lariats, strikes. Ibushi didn't go to his dark place, but we saw this determination in him. And in the end, it took a knee pad off and a Kamigoye to get the win. And it was a fitting end, I don't say an end, but like a fitting break for their rivalry. Naito took the titles and handed them to Ibushi. It shows this sort of mutual respect between the two. And Ibushi finally achieved one step closer to his desire to be god of the wrestling world. Now, obviously Jay White came out after and cut a promo because they had their match on the second night. However, nothing could take away from the smile on Ibushi's face holding those two titles. Now, I feel like I've said a lot and this is just night one, but overall it was an amazing match. It was 5 hours long, including the Rambo, and it went by in a blink of an eye. And yeah, I just couldn't fault any of it. And now we are on to night two. So it was a slightly shorter show because the opening matches were the Stardom matches, which didn't get aired. It is a shame, and I really hope that one day, if they carry on doing these Stardom opening matches, we get to see it. But this meant we went straight into the show with the King of Pro Wrestling match. So it was Fale, Chase, Bushi, and our King Toru Yano. As expected, it was a very chaotic match. The two members of Bullet Club accidentally fighting each other, Bushi flipping here, there, and everywhere, and Yano being Toru Yano. There's not much really to say about this match. Yano came out a victor, so he is not only the 2020 King of Pro Wrestling champion, but he's now the first interim, because remember, you're not confirmed as a champion until the end of the year. He is now the holder of the 2021 King of Pro Wrestling match. And again, like the night before, a very nice setup for an amazing show, which I'm probably just going to fangirl about because it was phenomenal. Now, the first match of the card was the junior heavyweight title match between Kanemaru and Desperado versus Master Wato and Taguchi. Now, before I say anything, congrats Wato, that was a much better ring gear. So was Taguchi's, which had hot pink and blue writing on his green pants. But yeah, another great match. Slightly shorter than some of the matches in the first night, only 13 minutes. But it had everything you wanted. You had Tenzan coming out as a supportive dad with his t-shirt on. He got knocked down. I mean, I don't know what Tenzan expects. He comes out, he's going to be a target. But it was a beautiful heel versus babyface match. And in the end, Suzuki-gun won, so that was a perfect decision, and that's what I predicted. Because that's what we need. We need consistency with this title. However, Wato has definitely shown that he is an amazing wrestler, and I really hope that over time you'll start to warm to him like I do. And now we got on to some serious meat. So, two big beefy men. We had for the never openweight title, we had Shingo Takagi versus Jeff Cobb. Probably one of my matches of the night. Like, it was phenomenal. We expect a lot from Shingo and we expect a lot from Cobb, even as a heel. But this match went above and beyond. Both guys, they're strong, we know that, but they were agile as well. We saw, like the previous night with Okada, Shingo did a tope con hilo. This is stuff we didn't even see when he was a junior heavyweight. And we all know that Jeff Cobb is this guy who is big, but we mentioned it on the live stream, he's very concentrated. He can fly, he can moonsault. He is like the perfect athlete. And once again, like Okan, there was no interference. This was your proper never match. And it actually went 21 minutes. It felt like a lot longer because there was so much action in it. And at any point, either man could have won. In the end, with a Last of the Dragon, Shingo retained, which is the right thing, like with the junior title, to keep consistency. However, there were so many times where it could have gone Cobb's way. Cobb was attacking Shingo's back, and we know that Shingo's bulk of his sort of offense is about his back. So whether it's Made in Japan, Last of the Dragon, no Shigami. So it was really amazing that Shingo fought through it all, and he is still our never title holder, and this is just going to bode really well for the title in the future. We then had a match which I was surprised about. So it was the special singles match between Evil and Sanada. Now, I didn't expect much from this. I thought we'd have Dick Togo being Dick Togo. At just over 20 minutes, or 23 minutes, I was oddly surprised at how good it was. We had a bit of Dick Togo interference, but the guy got shot through a table at some point. It felt a bit more like a normal Evil match. Yes, we had some cheating and like, poor Mighty Asami, he doesn't get a break with these guys. Abe as well on ring announcing, knocked down twice. Pray for Abe, please. But really, it was just a good wrestling match. Sanada has his cool composure. He was fast, he was agile. We saw a paradise lock, we saw moonsaults. Evil, we saw his power strength. His darkness falls. We even saw an everything is evil from Sanada. Now, in the end, Sanada got the win with the rounding body press, which is a work of art. What happens next? Is this the end now of their feud? I don't think so, because there's so much animosity between the two. However, with 2 wins over Evil, and we'll talk about it later on in the night, Sanada has firmly confirmed that he is better and that he is at this advantage. So I'm just going to say, New Japan, well done for making a match I wasn't excited for actually very good. And the gif of Dick Togo getting thrown through the table and the picture of Evil's face when he realised that was his fault, pure beauty. Now, we are on to the top 2 matches of the night, and probably my favourite matches of the night, if I'm going to be honest. We started with Hiromu Takahashi versus Ishimori for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Now, I said this, I loved Hiromu versus ELP, however this one, woo, it surpassed my expectations. Now, it went 25 minutes, and I'm going to say it again, it felt like longer, not because it was boring, on complete opposite, but because it was so much action. Whereas we saw with Okada versus Ospreay, there was light and shade to it. This, it was immense. It was fast. It was quick paced. It was high risk. But the weird thing, it was very brutal for these 2 guys. These are 2 guys who are known for their technique. However, at the core of it, it did just feel like a proper wrestling match where both guys just wanted to win. We saw, as expected, Canadian Destroyers, Hurricane Ranas, quite a lot of stuff off the ring post which terrified me. I think I compared the fact that there's a reason why Naito and Hiromu are so close. They are like the same person. No care for their health, no care for their opponent, they just want to win. I'm trying to think of like all of the amazing parts in the match. There was like an amazing spot where it was the transitions that Ishimori had into his into his submissions. It was Hiromu's desire to, despite Ishimori targeting the arm in some pretty brutal attacks, his desire to get his title back. Now, this match was, like I said, phenomenal. In the end, with a time bomb too, Hiromu won the title again, and it was the right call. It wasn't my prediction, but Hiromu is the standard bearer of this division, and who knows, we might have ELP and Ishimori going after the junior titles again, but if anyone thought that it's only Hiromu at the top of the division, you are very wrong, my friend. Ishimori proved why he's one of the best in the world, and even with that stupid little extension thing on, it was fantastic. And if you're gonna watch maybe just one junior match for the week, for the 2 days, that one is definitely the one to watch. And now we are on to the main event. Now, I've got my Switchblade t-shirt on, and obviously this has got spoilers in, so you know what happened. Holy God, like, this match was unlike anything I've ever seen. I thought the main event of night 1 was good, but I just don't know how to describe it. This match went 48 minutes and 5 seconds. So I think it's actually the longest match at Wrestle Kingdom main event, just slightly after Omega and Okada. What can I say? It was your standard babyface versus heel. Jay White came out all cocky. He was a fresher man because Ibushi had that half-an-hour match the night before. This was tit for tat. Again, I keep repeating it, I'm like a broken record. It was 48 minutes, it felt like 20. The guys were trading back and forth. We saw Ibushi go to his dark side, come back. There were suplexes, a very nasty suplex where it felt like Ibushi got hit on his head. Strikes which sent tingles down my spine. Gato got involved, Red Shoes poor thing got injured, but really, it was a weekend where we didn't see that much interference from Dick Togo, Jado and Gato. And it was a mix of storytelling and wrestling. As always, Jay White is that perfect defense wrestler. He was playing possum, he was teasing Ibushi, but Ibushi just fought back, and I don't know, like, I need to say this, I think it's my favourite New Japan match ever. And that's saying something, because I watched so many matches with Jay in it, so many matches with some of my favourite wrestlers. It was phenomenal. Like, my heart was beating because there were so many near falls. Ibushi kicked out the Blade Runner. The Blade Runner is such a secured and protected move, but that proved the heart. Jay kicked out of Kamigoyes, however in the end, like the night before, all it took was a bare knee and a Kamigoye to get the win, and it ended probably one of the, like, I loved last year's Wrestle Kingdom, but this had to be way better. It was just the perfect way to end it with Ibushi and his 2 belts. It was even better because Sanada came out in the end and challenged Ibushi in a very nice suit. But in a way that wasn't like Kenta. Kenta came out last year and just ruined the moment. Sanada let Ibushi have this. He let him have his moment and just came out looking cool as a cucumber. Now, looking at the 2 days in general, and my predictions first, I didn't do too bad. For the first time, I'm fine with Jay White losing and that prediction going wrong because Ibushi deserved it and I didn't want him to have a one-day reign. Apart from that, I think I did quite well. Okada and Tanahashi both won. Suzuki-gun beat Wato and Taguchi, and I think compared to the rest of the things like my G1 predictions, Super Junior, I have done really well. My match of the night had to be Ibushi versus Jay. Not just the match of the night, but the match of the 2 days. It was phenomenal. Everyone said it. Like, there was nothing bad about it. There was no time where I went, this is a bit boring. It allowed both men to shine, and even though Jay lost, he still came out looking amazing, like an amazing wrestler, and how much he has grown since his first Wrestle Kingdom against Tanahashi. Now, but I just want to thank New Japan. It was an amazing show and it kicked 2021 off in an amazing way. But now it's your turn. Let me know. What did you guys think? What were your matches of the 2 days? Is there anything that surprised you? What do you think about Ibushi walking out as double champ? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in social media, because like always, like, subscribe, share this with your friends, and make sure to follow me at wrestling_chat on Twitter, because so many of you guys have joined me over the last few days, and I really hope I can keep putting out content, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the show as much as I do, and I will see you next time. Bye!